Welcome to our last tutorial about levels. Remember how we talked about this photo before and how it's more of an artistic look. The person wanted this black border around and they chose this highlighted area so that your focus is in the middle. We can see from our histogram that this is true. We have a lot of data in the shadows, not a lot in the highlights, and it's pretty much real low across the board here. So how do we fix this? If you wanted to fix it, remember it's an 8-bit. So if it's an 8-bit, I probably can add a nice little levels command. Okay, which will open up the adjustment here. I don't really need to use the eyedroppers. I probably just need to move in the white point a little. Okay, I probably would zoom in on the area too, so I would select the zoom tool and move in because I don't want to over brighten it. And let me show you what happens if you over brighten it. See? Ooh, that's not good. Look at the numbers right here. Look at the numbers here. It's telling me before it was 167, now it's 246. Before it's 171, now it's 252. Before it was 191 in the blue, now it's 255. So it basically means this is blown out. There's no detail. It's going to print to pure white. You don't want that. So obviously you're going to need to back off. Okay. And then let me look at the lightest part here. I can press the Alt and click on the white to see the whitest part. And this is telling me this channel is going to be clipped first. So I'm going to move my cursor over there to make, oh, yeah, that's not good. So I'm going to have to back off a little bit more. And then check that again. Okay, 246 is okay. What you're looking for is probably about 242. And what that means is about 242 plus or minus is going to print okay with some detail. You're not going to have to worry. And on the other side, it would be about 12 to 14. Okay, so that would be a safe area for printing. Because if you print at 255, that means it's pure white and there's no detail. You don't want that. Okay, so that was kind of like an easy fix. So let me go ahead and close that. I'm not going to save it. Now let's look at this snow area. How would we fix this? Well, we know from our bar here, it's an 8-bit. Okay, so if it's an 8-bit, we probably can use a levels adjustment again. Let me click on levels. This will open up the levels adjustment here, layer. Okay, and you can see that we have our adjustment here. We see that we have a lot of data here. So it's not going to be that much to correct. I probably wouldn't use the eyedroppers because I think it might mess it up. So, but let's say, for example, I wanted to, and I wanted to find the darkest area. I'd press Alt and use this black, move it in, and I'd start to see that maybe this tree over here is going to be the darkest area, and I'd probably see the sky somewhere is going to be the lightest area. So let's choose it. So if I set the black point maybe to this area, and you can see in the info panel here that it's really 14, 14, 13. Okay, and then I said, okay, well, let me select the white area and move it up because I remember it was that clouded area. And then I fit in view to look at it. And then I'll zoom into this area right here. Look at that. It looks muddy. There's a lot of detail left. So I'm thinking that's not going to work. So what I would probably do is either click undo or just to edit revert to bring me back. And then choose the levels adjustment. And then maybe go through each individual channel. So let me click on this info to collapse it. Let me go to the Alt plus 3 is green, or red, excuse me. And then I'll go here. Okay, so I went through each channel and moved it in a little on each of the sliders. I go back to RGB composite, and I go, okay, my distribution of data looks a little bit better. I can still see it looks a little bit muddy over here, here, and here. So what can I do? Well, let me collapse my adjustment panel by double-clicking on the word adjustments. And let me create that stamped layer. And how do you do that? Control Alt Shift E, and this layer merges the visible layers below it into one, from which this layer I can work from and not worry about these two. And if I make a mistake here, I can always go back. That's why working in adjustment layers and stamp layers is great, because you don't have to save it for different file names, because it's if you leave it in the native PSD Photoshop Elements format, these are kept intact. So it's really nice. Okay, so from here, I will go, how can I bring out this area and this area? And I remember from the last tutorials, I can go to Enhance, Adjust Lighting, and look at Shadow and Highlights and see what that will do for me. Let me move this down a little. Okay, look at that, before and after. Before, after. So maybe you want to bring it down a little. Okay, I don't really need to darken the highlights because that's just, look at that. Oof, you don't want to do that. And then click OK. And then let me fit in view. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in again to take a look at before and after. So look, here's before, after, and if you want, you can take off the levels and really look at it. Let me zoom in once here. I probably will crop it too, but go ahead. Before, after. So we brought out some more detail over here and here. That's good. And we got a little bit brighter in the sky. Okay, now you can further enhance it with an S curve and sharpening and all kinds of goodies, but just want to let you know about this. And in the final photograph, let me show you what I did. This was a fun one. Okay, so this is a different way of approaching something that I wanted to show you also. I want to show you that you're not just limited to levels. Here was the original. And I said, okay, it's dark. How can I make it lighter quickly? I said, well, let me duplicate the layer. I duplicated the layer, and I changed the blend mode to screen. And I said, okay, that looks bright enough. That looks nice. Okay, great. And I said, well, let me create a stamp layer by pressing Control Alt Shift E, and I did that, which merged these two, so you're not going to see a difference. And then I decided, well, let me apply a levels command to just this area of the tree. Okay, and as you can see, I did that. So I didn't mess around with this area here or this area. I just messed around where this white is. So the white tells me where the levels was applied, and you can see it. And the black hides it from this area and this area because you don't want to overdo it. And it brings focus on this tree. And if you notice where your eyes are, your eyes tend to go over here. So I tend to make this a little bit brighter.